the kind of royal drama that could rewrite history. If you thought the tension between Buckingham Palace and the Middletons was just awkward smiles at formal dinners, think again. Things have been bubbling under the surface for years, and now the whole thing is exploding. Carol Middleton just made a move that sent shockwaves through the monarchy, and Queen Camilla, let's just say she did not see this coming. We're talking about a royal showdown that's been brewing since Kate first stepped into the royal spotlight. You've got Carol, protective, fiercely independent, and completely unwilling to be sidelined. Then there's Camilla, steeped in aristocratic traditions, controlling the palace from behind the scenes. These two have been circling each other for years, playing a game of polite nods and subtle power moves. But Carol? She just flipped the entire board. It all started on a chilly February morning when Carol walked into Buckingham Palace. No fanfare, no press, just a quiet arrival that didn't seem out of place. But what she carried with her, that changed everything. For years, she kept quiet, played nice, and stayed in her lane. But not today. Today, she was ready to talk. And here's where things get wild. Carol didn't just walk in and have a chat over tea. Nope, she came with receipts. She pulled out files, yes, actual documents, and laid out financial records that had never seen the light of day. And these weren't just any numbers. They pointed to something huge. We're talking about millions, millions of pounds quietly moving through secret accounts. Not just regular royal investments either. This was deeper. Private bank meetings in Switzerland, transfers disguised under shell companies, money being moved so carefully that, for years, no one could fully trace it. And guess who was at the center of it? Queen Camilla. Now let's pause here for a second because this isn't just about money. The royal family is built on trust, on the idea that they serve the people, not profit off them. If what Carol was saying was true, this wasn't just a scandal. This was a crisis. Inside that palace room, the reaction was instant. Phones started ringing, advisors whispered frantically. Some left the room, probably to warn whoever needed to be warned, but the person who didn't move? Camilla. People who've been around her for years say she's a master at keeping her composure. She's handled media storms, royal controversies, and decades of public. Experts started digging. More questions popped up. Where else was money being funneled? Who else knew? Could this go beyond Camilla? The possibilities were endless, and none of them were good for the royal family. And Carol? She wasn't backing down. For years, she had watched Kate navigate the pressures of royal life, balancing tradition with her own identity. She had seen the subtle ways the Middletons were kept at arm's length, how decisions were made without them. And now, she was done playing by the rules. This wasn't just about a mother standing up for her daughter. This was about power, about control, about a system that had operated in secrecy for centuries and was now being exposed in the harshest way possible. And as the fallout continued, one thing was certain. Buckingham Palace was in full-blown damage control mode. The royal family had faced scandals before, but this was different. This was internal. This was a war being fought behind palace walls, but with the whole world watching. And for Queen Camilla, the tears weren't just about being exposed. They were about something much bigger. For the first time in her royal life, she wasn't the one pulling the strings. The first real cracks had started years ago, back when Prince George was born in 2013. A royal baby is always a big deal, but George wasn't just any baby. He was a future king. The palace moved fast, setting up strict routines, official royal nannies, and an entire team to handle his care. Everything was planned down to the last detail, except for one thing: Carol. She had raised 3 kids of her own. She knew how to handle newborns, late-night feedings, and restless toddlers. And as Kate's mother, she naturally wanted to be involved. But suddenly, every door seemed to close in her face. Royal traditions left little space for a grandmother outside the direct royal bloodline, and insiders whispered that Camilla wasn't exactly fighting to change that. And if you look at what happened next, it's clear this wasn't an accident. Fast forward to 2015, Princess Charlotte's christening, a moment that should have been about family, about unity, about celebrating the birth of the newest royal. But something was off. The Middletons had planned a small, intimate gathering after the ceremony, a chance to just be with their daughter, their grandchildren, their family. Then, at the last minute, plans changed, and not in a small way. Suddenly, royal protocol took over. The guest list shifted. The Middletons found themselves in the background, playing minor roles at their own granddaughter's big day. The whispers inside the palace, they all pointed in the same direction. Camilla's office had a hand in it. Now you might think, okay, royal events are complicated. Maybe it wasn't intentional. But if you follow the pattern, it's very intentional. It wasn't just about christenings and birthdays. It was in the little moments. The way palace staff handled invitations, the way schedules changed at the last second, making it harder for Kate's family to visit, the way Carol slowly realized that no matter how hard she tried, she was being sidelined. And then came the real gut punch, Prince Charles' 70th birthday party. Now, Charles turning 70 was a big deal. The royal family put together a grand celebration. Guests flew in from all over and the champagne flowed. Carol was there, smiling, keeping up appearances. But then, she overheard something she wasn't supposed to. Camilla, surrounded by her close friends, wealthy, aristocratic, and very much old money, made a passing comment about new money in a way that didn't need much decoding. It was a direct jab at the Middletons, their business, their success, everything Carol had worked for. And that was when things shifted from cold tolerance to outright hostility. Carol knew she wasn't just dealing with royal traditions, she was dealing with a power play. Every event, every exclusion, every subtle move was about control. And Camilla, she was winning. Then came the pandemic. While most of the country was locked down, something strange was happening behind the palace gates. Some royal family members, let's just say not the Middletons, were still meeting in private. And Camilla, her influence only grew stronger. By early 2024, there wasn't even an attempt to hide the tension anymore. At Prince Louis' school concert, the writing was on the wall. Camilla and Carol barely acknowledged each other. They stood at opposite ends of the reception, not even pretending to exchange pleasantries. It wasn't just awkward anymore. It was war. And then Carol had enough. She had been patient. She had played nice. She had stayed quiet while the Middletons were pushed further and further into the background. But when she saw how deep this went, when she realized that Camilla wasn't just influencing royal schedules, but controlling them, using money and power to decide who mattered, had always sat, the one where people naturally gathered, was empty. No aides hovering nearby, no morning chatter. Even the staff who once rushed to serve her tea just the way she liked it suddenly kept their distance. And that was just the beginning. Her schedule, once packed with royal duties, charity visits, and high-profile engagements, began to empty. At first, it was small things. A request from a charity for another royale to attend instead. A garden party invitation that somehow never arrived. But then came the real blow. Her favorite event, the Royal Windsor Horse Show. For 15 years, she had been an honored guest, always given the best seat, always front and center. But this year, a polite message suggested she take a break. That's when reality hit. Her friends, those aristocrats she had wined and dined for years, started slipping away too. The weekend gatherings in grand country estates. Suddenly her name was left off the guest list. Ladies who once competed to sit next to her at charity luncheons now had other commitments. The social phone calls, the gossip-filled brunches, the quiet reassurances that she was still in control. Gone. And the worst part, the palace staff noticed. Oh, they were still polite, of course. This was Buckingham Palace after all. But the warmth, the respect, that invisible thread of deference that once surrounded her, it was unraveling. Her personal chef, the one who knew her favorite dishes by heart, left for another royal. Her longtime secretary quietly requested a transfer to Princess Anne's office. Even her driver of 12 years decided it was time to retire. Now, let's take a second here. Camilla had spent decades fighting for her place in the royal family. She had survived the public hatred after Diana. She had clawed her way up from being Charles' mistress to his wife, then queen consort. And now, in just a matter of months, Carol Middleton had taken all of that away. And it wasn't just inside the palace. The outside world was catching on too. The press had loved Camilla for years. After all, she had gone from being one of Britain's most despised women to being accepted, even respected as queen. But the moment Carol's accusations hit, the headliners turned. Newspapers that once ran glowing articles about Camilla's grace and charm were suddenly digging into her past. Old scandals reemerged. Stories of her demanding nature, her temper behind closed doors, her alleged influence over royal affairs. It all resurfaced, and people were paying attention. Her children, Tom Parker Bowles and Laura Lopes, stood by her, but even they felt the impact. Tom lost his long-running food column in the Mail on Sunday. Laura's art gallery saw a noticeable drop in high-profile clients. The scandal wasn't just isolating Camilla, it was spreading to everyone connected to her. Then came Christmas, and this was where things got brutal. The royal Christmas photo is a big deal. It's carefully staged, every placement deliberate. And when the family gathered at Sandringham, Camilla was there, but barely. While Kate and William stood front and center, radiating warmth with their children, Camilla was positioned at the very edge of the frame. It was subtle, but so obvious at the same time. The dinner that night, even worse. She had always been seated near Charles, an unspoken reminder of her importance. But now, a seat farther down the table. Less conversation, less attention. Even her own grandchildren spent the holiday with their other grandmother instead. By early 2025, she barely left her rooms. The palace issued a vague statement about her taking time for private matters, but everyone knew what that meant. She had been sidelined. Her royal work, almost non-existent. She was missing from key events. No speeches, no appearances, nothing. And then came the final unmistakable sign. The palace was preparing for an important state dinner, a massive event, the kind that demanded perfect protocol. But when the staff set up the grand dining hall, something was missing. Camilla's throne, the one place beside Charles for official ceremonies, had been removed. When she asked why, the answer was chillingly simple. Protocol changes. And just like that, it was official. She was still technically queen consort, but the message was clear. The power she once held, gone. The influence she fought for, erased. The woman who had spent years climbing to the top of the royal hierarchy was now watching everything slip away. And as Camilla faded into the background, all eyes turned to someone new. Kate Middleton, the woman once dismissed as too common, the outsider who wasn't raised in palaces, who didn't come from an aristocratic lineage, the woman who, for years, had smiled through the quiet insults, the cold shoulders, the battles behind closed doors. But here's where things got interesting. As Camilla disappeared, Kate stepped up, not with loud declarations or power grabs. Number. She did it her way. Subtle, graceful, but impossible to ignore. She started appearing more frequently, not just at charity events but in palace meetings. She took a larger role in discussions about royal finances, long-term planning, and even the monarchy's modernization. Her office, once tucked away, was moved closer to King Charles. A small detail maybe, but inside Buckingham Palace, everything is symbolic. She and William became more visible, attending events together, their bond stronger than ever. And behind closed doors, insiders whispered that William was relying on Kate more than ever before, seeking her advice on major royal decisions. And here's what made her different: she connected with people. Parents at children's charities noticed how she really listened. Military families saw how she made time for them. She wasn't just shaking hands, she was remembering names, stories, struggles. The royal family, long criticized for feeling distant, suddenly felt human again. Even the way she dressed sent a message. She repeated outfits, mixed affordable brands with high fashion, made it clear she wasn't there to show off. She was there to relate. And the palace? They embraced it. She overhauled the royal family's social media presence, showing more behind the scenes moments, offering a real glimpse into life as a modern royal. People loved it. And then there was Carol Middleton. Once dismissed as an outsider, she now had a quiet but undeniable presence. She worked alongside Kate on charity projects, using her business skills to improve palace operations. The same middle-class background that once made her a target, now it was an asset. She helped shape the very institution that once tried to push her out. By mid-2025, the message was clear. The monarchy had survived its biggest crisis in decades, but it wasn't because of tradition or aristocracy. It was because of Kate, because of Carol, because the woman once seen as an outsider was exactly what the royal family needed. But here's the big question. Is this a new royal order? Can the monarchy, now standing on shaky ground, truly rebuild with Kate leading the way? Or is this just the beginning of another shift? One that could change the British royal family forever? Let us know what you think in the comments below. And if you love this deep dive into royal drama, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Click the next video on your screen. We promise you won't want to miss it. Just when Camilla seemed to be gaining control, Princess Anne intervened and put a stop to it. Speculation is rife that Queen Camilla attempted a significant power play, but Anne wasn't willing to let it slide. What really went down inside the palace walls, and why has this sparked major tension? Let's break it down. The royal family is no stranger to internal disputes, but this one is sending tremors throughout Buckingham Palace. Just when it looked like King Charles had secured a stable rule, a subtle yet formidable opposition emerged, spearheaded by none other than Princess Anne. Over the years, Camilla has steadily climbed to a position of prominence, earning public acceptance along the way, but insiders claim she may have pushed too far this time. Reports indicate Camilla attempted to expand her authority within the monarchy, making a bold move to amplify her influence. However, Anne, famous for her strong loyalty to royal traditions, was quick to intervene, shutting down Camilla's plan before it could gain momentum. But what exactly did Camilla attempt? And why was Anne so determined to halt it? This wasn't just a minor disagreement. It was a power battle with deep historical significance. To grasp why Anne stood firm, we must revisit Camilla's entry into the royal family and how her aspirations have intensified this ongoing tension. When Charles and Camilla wed in 2005, the palace carefully managed expectations. Camilla was titled Princess Consort instead of Queen, a compromise intended to honor public sentiment and respect the memory of Princess Diana. Yet, according to royal insiders, Camilla was never fully content with that title. Over time, whispers suggested Camilla had her eyes on the prestigious Queen Consort role. And when Charles ascended the throne, her ambitions were realized. Anne, however, reportedly felt this contradicted prior agreements. Known for her unwavering respect for tradition, Anne believed Camilla's title upgrade sent the wrong message to the public. The debate over Camilla's title wasn't merely symbolic, it signaled a larger issue. Anne reportedly saw this as an early warning that Camilla intended to exert more power than anticipated. This realization made Anne increasingly vigilant, prompting her to keep a close eye on Camilla's actions. Before long, Anne found herself in yet another confrontation with Camilla, this time over something far more personal. Unlike many royals, Anne has consistently treated her position as a responsibility rather than a privilege. While some have advocated modernizing the monarchy, Anne has held firm in her belief that tradition must prevail. Insiders claim Anne has long been wary of Camilla's growing influence. Some suggest Anne suspects Camilla has deliberately positioned herself as not just Charles' wife, but a significant figure in royal power dynamics. So when Camilla began taking on a more prominent role in royal matters, Anne reportedly acted swiftly behind the scenes. She allegedly leveraged her strong connections within the royal household to block Camilla from making key decisions. This wasn't driven by personal dislike, but by Anne's dedication to preserving the monarchy's stability. For Anne, the royal family is an institution that must remain steady and resistant to ambitious changes. To her, Camilla's rising profile threatened to disrupt that balance. This quiet struggle wasn't limited to palace walls. It played out in subtle public displays as well, from their differing public styles to their distinct approaches to royal duties. Anne is known for her practical and simple wardrobe, often repeating outfits from years past. To her, fashion is functional, not a statement. Camilla, by contrast, embraces designer fashion, expensive jewelry, and luxurious accessories. She understands the power of public image and uses style to reinforce her status. But sources suggest Anne wasn't impressed. Allegedly, she saw Camilla's lavish wardrobe choices as excessive and damaging to the royal image. To Anne, royalty is about service and restraint, not fashion statements. Every outfit, every accessory carries significance. And in her view, Camilla's extravagant choices clashed with the monarchy's traditionally conservative image. But was this really about fashion? Or was Anne subtly reinforcing that Camilla was still an outsider in the royal fold? The conflict wasn't just about appearances. It extended to their views on royal duties, which led to their biggest confrontation. Princess Anne is renowned for being one of the hardest working royals, dedicating herself to hundreds of events each year. To her, royal service is a full-time commitment. Camilla, while devoted in her own way, adopts a more selective approach, prioritizing fewer but high-profile causes. This difference reportedly created tension. Sources claim Anne believes every royal must share the workload equally, and she disapproved of Camilla's more relaxed schedule. Anne's stance is simple. If you carry a royal title, you commit fully. There's no room for selective engagement or convenience. This fundamental divide triggered ongoing clashes over how the monarchy should function. Perhaps most significantly, this tension culminated in one of Anne's boldest moves against Camilla, one that directly affected Camilla's access to power. When Camilla officially became queen consort, many assumed she would immediately gain full access to vital royal records, classified briefings, and sensitive government updates. As King Charles' wife, it seemed logical for her to be fully informed. But Princess Anne had other plans. According to insiders, Anne discreetly collaborated with key palace officials to restrict Camilla's access to these crucial discussions. This wasn't a solo effort. Sources claim Anne, alongside trusted palace aides and senior royals, ensured Camilla was kept out of major talks involving royal strategy and government affairs. But why? Those familiar with the situation say the reason was simple but startling. Anne reportedly didn't trust Camilla. Having spent her life immersed in royal duties, Anne knew how decisions were made, what information was shared, and most importantly, who deserved access to such knowledge. In her eyes, Camilla hadn't earned that privilege. Anne's maneuver sent shockwaves through the palace. Queen consorts had traditionally been fully involved in royal matters, privy to sensitive discussions and strategic decisions. Yet with Anne pulling the strings, Camilla found herself sidelined. this wasn't just about controlling documents, it was about limiting influence. By curbing Camilla's access to critical information, Anne effectively reduced her power within the monarchy. Without access to high level briefings, Camilla's role became largely ceremonial rather than strategic. Reports suggest this power move triggered heated disputes within the palace, with King Charles eventually forced to intervene. Camilla, understandably, was livid. Allegedly, she confronted palace officials, demanding answers about her exclusion from critical talks. As the king's wife, she believed she had a right to be involved, but Anne stood firm. According to insiders, Anne maintained that Camilla lacked the lifelong dedication and training required to hold such influence. In Anne's eyes, loyalty to the monarchy wasn't about marriage, it was about unwavering commitment to duty and tradition. And to Anne, Camilla had yet to prove that dedication. What intensified the drama was that Anne wasn't alone in her concerns. Reports claim other senior royals shared Anne's reservations, worried that giving Camilla unrestricted influence could destabilize the monarchy's balance of power. Ultimately, a compromise was reached. While Camilla was granted partial access to key documents, her involvement in sensitive matters remained limited. She was present in meetings but denied full access to confidential briefings. Meanwhile, Anne continued to monitor events closely, ensuring Camilla's role didn't expand beyond what she deemed appropriate. What's your take on this royal power play? Did Anne go too far, or was she justified in keeping Camilla's influence in check? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more royal insights. Prince William hands out red cards as he plays soccer referee, following big day with Kate Middleton. The Prince of Wales went to see a program aiming to diversify the sport's referee ranks. Prince William is hitting the soccer field and taking on the role of referee. On March 11th, the Prince of Wales, 42, traveled to Willenhall, West Midlands to visit a referee training course at Sporting Khalsa FC. The Reflective and Representative campaign, organized by the Football Association, is working to recruit 1,000 people from Black, Asian, and mixed heritage backgrounds into refereeing roles. The Prince of Wales, who is the patron of the FA, soccer's governing body in England, has a well-documented love of soccer. The royal is known to send personal messages about major news in the soccer world on the official social media accounts he shares with Kate Middleton, and he also seems to have passed down his passion for the Aston Villa team to his eldest son, Prince George, 11. Prince William was enthusiastically welcomed by school children from Fibbersley Park Primary Academy, and he smiled as he gave out high fives and even a few hugs. He learned more about the training course, which kicked off in July 2023, and weaves theory and practical training to support people learning to officiate soccer matches. Participants will learn how to referee grassroots games efficiently in a program for individuals over age 14 who hope to referee mini football, 9v9 and 11v11 games. The heir to the throne met with reps from the FA and Sporting Khalsa to discuss the importance of increasing opportunities in soccer for young people from diverse backgrounds and connect with trainers from the course to hear about their personal journeys. Prince William then joined a lesson to learn more about the finesse necessary for refereeing and try his hand at various ref skills like whistle tones and flag signals. The Prince of Wales then put his new skills to the test by playing referee for a minigame. Prince William became president of the FA in 2006 and transitioned into the patron position in July 2024, taking over a role previously held by his late grandmother, Queen Elizabeth. His visit to the referee training course falls the day after the Commonwealth Day service of celebration at Westminster Abbey in London, which was especially momentous as Princess Kate and King Charles attended for the first time in 2 years. The Princess of Wales, 43, and the King, 76, were unable to attend the commemoration in March 2024 for health-related reasons. Kate had been recovering from a planned abdominal surgery that January before revealing on March 22nd that she began chemotherapy treatment for cancer. The Royale has since shared in September that she completed chemotherapy and said on January 14 that she is in remission. King Charles also did not go to the annual service in 2024, as doctors advised him to postpone public-facing work after he began treatment for a cancer diagnosis announced in February 2024. On Monday, he led Queen Camilla, the Prince and Princess of Wales, Princess Anne, Prince Richard, the Duke of Gloucester, and Birgitta, the Duchess of Gloucester, as the contingent of working royals during his return to the Commonwealth Day service. Palace sources said in December that King Charles' treatment for cancer would continue into the new year, moving in a positive direction and as a managed condition. The Commonwealth Day service was the royal family's first major event of the year, held to celebrate the network of 56 nations, most formerly under the British Crown, which exists to enrich the lives of its 2.7 billion citizens. King Charles is the head of the Commonwealth itself, and the Monday service, where Prince William and Princess Kate snuck in a look of love, is a staple on the royal family's annual calendar, wearing the feminine detail that's all over Hollywood right now. Celebrities like Kim Kardashian and Ariana Grande have been breaking out bows too. We are bowing down to this Kate Middleton-approved trend. For the Commonwealth Day service of celebration last week, the Princess of Wales proudly displayed another big bow, a tiny detail that's been having a big moment in her wardrobe recently. It sat at the very top of her calf-length coat, simultaneously drawing attention upwards toward the princess's face. It softened the entire look and balanced out the straight lines and rigid tailoring of her topper. She also wore a matching hat, heels, and clutch, plus the refined pearl choker and matching earrings that belonged to Queen Elizabeth and Princess Diana, respectively. She's far from the only star leaning into their feminine side via bow accents. Ariana Grande mirrored her wicked character Glinda's wardrobe with a bow featuring bowed top during the press tour, and then wore bows again on her sparkly ruby heels at the 2025 Oscars. Kim Kardashian also wore a bunch of bows in her hair to a pre-Oscars event, while Hailey Bieber showed up to the Vanity Fair after party with them. While Middleton's coat was so elegant, it's probably too formal for school pickup, a workout class, and all your other casual day-to-day requirements. Plus, we're at the tail end of winter, so in just a few weeks, this style will be too hot to wear. So if it were us, we'd want something a little more lightweight, like this denim jacket, which Martha Stewart and Taylor Swift wear. Its bows are for more than just show. As the main fasteners, they take the place of flimsy zippers or difficult buttons. We like this option because it brings a sprinkle of glamour to something we wear on a weekly basis: a t-shirt. It also has short sleeves, which are helpful to stay cool, yet a little more modest than tank top straps. The t-shirt could also be dressed up with a silky midi skirt or black caprice, or worn with something comfier like leggings and a denim jacket. Wink wink. You can also buy a clip-on bow like this one and use it whenever and wherever you want. For example, I bought a similar pack last year and slipped the bows onto my waistband for my Eloise at the Plaza Halloween costume. And then I wore one again on the hem of a mini dress for a Sabrina Carpenter concert. These bows are an easy way to dress up any outfit. The clips make them really easy to put on, and they stay put. I'm sure they are actually meant to be for little girls, but I'm 40 years young and my husband and I both love them, wrote one shopper. There's 18 color combinations to choose from, all of which are $8 or less, only $4 a piece max. Keep scrolling to shop more bow fashion inspired by Kate Middleton now. Prince William makes a self-deprecating joke about his hair as he compliments well-wishers' fantastic look. The Prince of Wales is known to make quips about his thinning hair. Prince William isn't afraid to poke a little fun at himself. The Prince of Wales, 42, cracked a self deprecating joke about his thinning hair while meeting a well wisher during his visit to the West Midlands on March 11th. William traveled to Sporting Khalsa FC in Willenhall to check out a referee training course organized by the Football Association, which he backs as a patron, to recruit 1,000 individuals from Black, Asian, and mixed heritage backgrounds into ref roles. Prince William was warmly welcomed by excited schoolchildren and locals who came out to see him, where one woman's bold red hair caught his attention during an impromptu walkabout. "Look at your hair. It's fantastic," William told the well-wisher, who wore her locks in a close crop. "Wish I had hair like that," he added with a laugh in the fan footage shared on X. "I know, I've not a chance." The Prince of Wales then smiled for a selfie when the woman asked, hinting that the royal trend of snapping selfies with fans is maybe here to stay. Prince William has been known to quip about his hair loss in the past, previously joking that he had hair when he launched his Environmental Earthshot Prize in 2020, and telling a hairstylist during a day out in 2017, "I don't have much hair. I can't give you much business." However, the heir to the throne got the internet talking about his facial hair when he switched up his look over the summer by sporting a beard for the first time in 16 years. Prince William had gone clean-shaven for years when he appeared with a bold beard in a video he issued with wife Kate Middleton in August 2024 to congratulate Team Great Britain on their success at the 2024 Paris Olympics. Royal watchers were shocked as he had not worn a beard in public since 2008. William was without the scruff a few weeks later when spotted driving to church in Scotland, but he brought the beard back when he returned to work after the summer on September 5. The prince has rocked the facial hair ever since, and his former royal aide Jason Knopf recently revealed he thinks Princess Kate approves of the new look. "I love it. I think it's great," Knopf said about William's beard in a February 24 interview with 60 Minutes Australia. "But I've talked to him about it, or tried to talk to him about it. He's like, 'It's here. I have a beard.' No further conversation." When asked if the Princess of Wales liked the look, which her husband seems to be sticking with, Knopf shared some relatable insight. "If she didn't like it, it wouldn't be there. I could tell you that." Middleton will return to St. Patrick's Day tradition after missing event last year. The Princess of Wales is the honorary colonel of the Irish Guards and is known to toast with a pint of Guinness to the holiday. Kate Middleton is set to toast with a pint of Guinness this St. Patrick's Day. On March 11th, Kensington Palace confirmed that the Princess of Wales will visit the Irish Guards at the St. Patrick's Day parade in Wellington Barracks on the holiday. Kate, 43, was named the honorary colonel of the Irish Guards in 2022, but was a regular at the annual March 17th event even before that, often accompanying her husband, Prince William, who held the position before her. Monday's appearance will mark a return to the event for Princess Kate, who missed last year's parade amid her health battles. The Royale was recovering from a January 2024 abdominal surgery, and she revealed later in March 2024 that she had been diagnosed with cancer. The Irish Guards kept the Princess of Wales in their thoughts, giving her 3 cheers at the end of their celebratory parade. The Princess of Wales last attended the St. Patrick's Day parade in 2023, sporting a teal ensemble that matched the plumes worn in the bearskin caps by the 1st Battalion Irish Guards. That appearance also marked her debut as their honorary colonel, having received the royal title following Queen Elizabeth's death in 2022. At Monday's parade, Princess Kate will take part in various traditions. She'll award long service and good conduct medals to soldiers within the regiment before joining the parade to present sprigs of shamrock to the officers and guardsmen. Their Irish Wolfhound regimental mascot also usually receives some shamrocks as well as a sweet pat from the Royale. The parade will conclude with a royal salute and march past, where Kate will take the salute as colonel. Following the parade, the Princess of Wales will meet veterans of the Irish Guards and Minimix, junior cadets from Northern Ireland. She will then join the official officers and sergeants' mess photographs and visit the junior ranks dining hall for a traditional toast with a pint of beer. Princess Kate made a rare outing amid her cancer treatment in June 2024 during Trooping the Colour, the annual celebration of the British monarch's birthday. Last year's event saw the Irish Guards lead the parade through London as the 5 regiments of the Foot Guards rotate, which present their flag at Trooping the Colour each year. Kate did not lead the Colonel's Review the weekend before Trooping the Colour, as is tradition, amid her cancer treatment. However, she did send a letter sharing her apologies. "I wanted to write and let you know how proud I am of the entire regiment ahead of the Colonel's Review and Trooping of the Colour," she said. "I appreciate everyone trooping this year has been practicing for months and dedicating many hours to ensuring their uniforms and drill are immaculate." Kate continued, "Being your colonel remains a great honor, and I am very sorry that I'm unable to take the salute at this year's Colonel's Review. Please pass my apologies to the whole regiment. However, I do hope that I am able to represent you all once again very soon. Please send my very best wishes and good luck to all involved." The Princess of Wales signed her name as Colonel Catherine. In a speech at the 2023 St. Patrick's Day Parade, Princess Kate said it was a true honor to be the Colonel of the Irish Guards. "I am here to listen to you, to support you, and to champion you in all you do. This is a responsibility I do not take lightly," she said. "I look forward to spending more time with you and your families, seeing your commitment to duty and service in all you do." Before I close, however, I want to thank Colonel William. He has always talked about his fierce pride for this regiment. I know he will continue to support us all in the work we do," Princess Kate continued. "Finally, I would like to wish you all a very happy St. Patrick's Day." Prince William punches the air and gives a thumbs up as he celebrates his favorite soccer team's win. See the pics. The Prince of Wales watched his beloved Aston Villa make it through to the UEFA Champions League quarter-finals on Wednesday, March 12th. Prince William is celebrating his beloved soccer team, Aston Villa's big win. On Wednesday, March 12th, the Prince of Wales, 42, looked thrilled as his team won 3-0 while playing against Belgium's Club Brugge at Villa's home stadium, Villa Park in Birmingham, UK. The victory means Aston Villa are now heading to the UEFA Champions League quarter-finals in Paris next month, where they will play Paris Saint-Germain in the annual soccer competition. William, who donned his team's scarf for the outing, was pictured in the stands with close friends, including Thomas van Straubenzee, who is one of Princess Charlotte's godfathers, and Edward van Cutsem. The trio screamed as the team made it through, with the royal grabbing Van Cutsem's face at one point and punching the air. Amid the celebrations, Van Cutsem appeared to spill his drink, while fans continued to cheer around them. It seems like William, who is the patron of the Football Association, the game's governing body in England, will now be heading to the French capital to watch his team in the next round on April 9th, as he told reporters, "See you in Paris," while leaving the game, per Hello magazine. Before the game, the royal wished the Aston Villa squad luck, sharing multiple snaps from his behind-the-scenes visit on Instagram, including shots of him hugging and chatting to players. "Great to pop in to see at AVF official yesterday, ahead of tonight's Champions League game. Up the Villa. UTV," the post caption read. Loyal soccer follower William appears to have passed his love of the game to his eldest son, Prince George, 11, who has joined him at many games in the past. Earlier this week, the Prince of Wales visited Sporting Khalsa FC in Willenhall, West Midlands, to check out a referee training course organized as part of the Football Association's goal to recruit 1,000 people from Black, Asian, and mixed heritage backgrounds. While making his way into the course, connected to the FA's reflective and representative campaign, William received a very warm welcome from hundreds of school children and local people who came out to see him, UK outlet The Mirror reported. The royal took time for plenty of hellos and hugs at the Tuesday, March 11th engagement, joking that he had broken the record for the most amount of high fives in 10 minutes as he mingled with kids from Fibersley Park Academy. The young students came prepared for their royal encounter with Union Jack flags and handmade posters. Per The Mirror, a sign that said Aston Villa is the best, unsurprisingly, caught William's eye, and he gave a thumbs up to the student who made it for him. Supporting Aston Villa is not always smooth sailing for the future king, however. In January, William was seen with his head in his hands 1 minute and jumping for joy the next as the team took on Celtic from Glasgow, Scotland in the Champions League. The week before, he travelled to Monaco on the south coast of France to watch Aston Villa play against AS Monaco. Royal husband Mike Tyndall shares sneaky trick for surviving Cheltenham Festival. No one knows. Genius, the reporter replied to his sly insight. Mike Tyndall is a pro at navigating the long days of equestrian events, and he has shared his particular trick for the Cheltenham Festival. The retired rugby player, 46, is married to Princess Anne's equestrian daughter Zara Tyndall, who is a director of the Cheltenham Racecourse, where the annual horse racing festival is held. In a March 13th interview with Race Day TV, Mike said that one way to power through the 4-day event is to order a non-alcoholic drink in a pinch. After chatting about the action on the track, the relaxed atmosphere, and the good weather, the interviewer asked, "Last question. Have you gotten any tips for surviving 4 days of Cheltenham?" "It's all about management, liver management," Mike joked. "It's not easy to do. All it takes is bumping into an old friend to push you over the limits. But you always have to remember, with Guinness, you get a little zero, and no one knows," he continued, referring to the brewer's non-alcoholic beer option. "A little Guinness Zero in the middle when no one knows. It goes a long way." "Genius," the reporter replied, and they both laughed. Mike offered the light-hearted comment behind the scenes on the 3rd day of the Cheltenham Festival. The event is considered to be the Olympics of horse racing, bringing the sport's best horses, jockeys, and trainers together for 4 days each March at the Cheltenham Racecourse in Gloucestershire. Mike and Zara are known to go annually, and they have attended every day of the festivities running this year from March 11th to March 14th. The couple, who wed in 2011 and share children, Mia, 11, Lena, 6, and Lucas, 3, had a double date with Princess Eugenie and Jack Brooksbank at the Cheltenham races on March 12th. Royal cousins Zara and Eugenie, 34, seemingly coordinated their outfits with burgundy hues on what's dubbed Style Wednesday at the festival, and they all took a picture together. It was a royal repeat for Zara, Mike, Eugenie, and Jack, 38, as the couples went to Cheltenham together last year on Style Wednesday as well. Queen Camilla led the royals at Cheltenham on March 12th, attending in her pose as joint patron of the Jockey Club, the organization that runs horse racing in the UK. King Charles' wife had the honor of presenting the trophy for the Queen Mother Champion Chase, which is renowned as the most prestigious race for 2-mile chasers in the jump racing calendar. The prize is named after the King's beloved grandmother, Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, who avidly followed horse racing and memorably passed the hobby along to her daughter, Queen Elizabeth, who bred, owned, and oversaw many racehorses during her lifetime. Elsewhere, during the 2025 Cheltenham Festival, its National Hunt Chase race on March 11th was permanently renamed to the Princess Royal National Hunt Chase in tribute to Princess Anne. The homage honors her equestrian success and support for the Cheltenham Racecourse, and her son-in-law Mike said it meant much to her. "It will mean a lot to Princess Anne. Both Princess Anne and Zara just love horses so much. It's not just the racing side of things, it's everything about horses," he told the Daily Mail earlier this week. "Princess Anne and Zara are just so passionate about it," he added.
They care about the life of the horses. It's not just their racing period or racing time. They look at everything that goes on afterward and how to make sure a horse has a good life afterward. It's just a passion in both Zara and Princess Anne's blood. So, given her passion for the horses, I think Princess Anne will love the fact the National Hunt Chase is honoring her. She loves racing. She's also very knowledgeable when it comes to racing. She can remember a lot of detail when it comes to the various horses. I know she loves going to Cheltenham, and I know she will have a fantastic day. Both mother and daughter have previously saddled up to compete on the equestrian team for Great Britain in the Olympics, and Zara exclusively told People in 2023 that there's always horse conversation happening in her family.
Singer Max McNown reveals royal surprise from Princess Madeline. Not on my 2025 bingo card. The singer-songwriter was regally starstruck at his recent show in Stockholm. Max McNown's first international tour already has a royal seal of approval. The 23-year-old singer-songwriter shared a carousel of photos on Instagram from his show in Stockholm, Sweden on March 11th, and the first pic included a royal guest, Princess Madeline. Don't panic, but we've been informed that Princess Madeline of Sweden is on her way to watch your show. Those words were not on my 2025 bingo card, McNown shared in the caption. The Royale, 42, was dressed casually in blue jeans and a black t-shirt, matching McNown's vibes as he grinned in jeans, a Henley, and a backward hat. I still can't comprehend the fact that a crowd like this showed up to watch me play my own show in this beautiful country I've never even been to before, he added in his caption. Last night was unforgettable. The A Lot More Free performer also shared some shots of him and his band on stage at the Fulham concert venue and walking the streets of the Johanneshof district of the Swedish capital city. Princess Madeleine is the youngest child of King Carl XVI Gustaf, the longest reigning monarch in Swedish history, and Queen Sylvia. She is currently ninth in line to the throne behind her older sister, Crown Princess Victoria, her older brother, Prince Carl Philip, and their respective children. Madeleine married British-born American financier Christopher O'Neill on June 8, 2013. They share 3 children, Princess Leonor, 11, Prince Nicholas, 9, and Princess Adrian, 7. Last year, the princess and her family moved back to Sweden after living in Florida in recent years. When People exclusively spoke with the Swedish royal at the World Childhood Foundation's 25th anniversary gala in New York City on November 14, she shared that the US will always remain close to my heart. Returning to meet with colleagues and friends of Childhood USA is deeply meaningful to me, she added. Having shared experiences and created memories during my time living in New York City and Miami, I always look forward to reconnecting with those who have been vital to supporting our mission